Well, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you the car that just returned home from Pebble Beach a few weeks ago. This is our 1937 Rolls-Royce Phantom III H.J. Mulliner Sedanka DeVille. This car has a very sinister yet elegant look to it. Completely all black, and believe it or not, this car is mostly an original car. We just brought it up to the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance this year, and we got third in class, which we are very, very proud of. So starting at the front of the Rolls-Royce, of course, you have your Spirit of Ecstasy mascot on top. Now this is a Phantom III. They did not make a lot of Phantom IIIs. It's believed they made about a little over 700 of them. And the reason for that is World War II started. They had to stop making beautiful luxury cars and make engines for the war effort. But this is one of the cars that came out of the factory. This is a H.J. Mulliner body called a Sedanka DeVille. And why they call it that is because the roof compartment in the front seats actually does fold back, and I'll show you how that works in a bit. We have our license plate, says P3. If anyone is curious about the Nethercutt Collection license plates, they are all real. They are all registered through the California DMV. We didn't have them made to make the car look cooler. That's legit the license plate. Fun fact. Now these are the original colors to the car. This car has looked like this its entire life since 1937. It's all black, is what you would call murdered out if you're around my age. Black wheel covers, black everything. So like I said, Sedanka DeVille, this top part does go into the body, completely hidden away. Coach building by H.J. Mulliner and Company. This car is a very, very British car. It originally was purchased from the Jack Barclay dealership, which is the largest and oldest Rolls-Royce and Bentley dealership in the world. So it has these Jack Barclay plates on both sides of the interior, along with your coach builder. Car's a little dusty after coming back from the polo fields at Pebble Beach, but we are so proud of what this car accomplished, because this car was not restored by us. In fact, it's never been restored. It's never been mechanically taken apart. Now the front interior, all this black leather was redone around 1956, maybe 1957. This wood is all original to the car. All the glass is original. The carpet we added because for some reason there was German carpet in the car, so we found the correct materials. But as far as the rear interior, this is all original back here. We have a blanket to protect the original carpet. The pin needle, that is all original to the car, 1937. Even all this wood, this window rolls up, so you can have some privacy. And when we drove it on the tour, everyone who rode in the back, if this is up, you legitimately cannot hear the conversation in the back at all. It's pretty impressive. Here's your little tray for your charcuterie board. These are called dicky seats. They're not exactly, you sit diagonal, not very comfortable. Then you've got your bar back here, which most likely would have scotch in it because this car is British. Yeah, the headliner, all these seats back here are completely original. You have your vanity light and mirror back there, your grab handles. Just an amazing, amazing looking car for how old it is. We are very proud that it took home a third place trophy with so much stacked against it as far as age, going up against newer restoration cars. Very, very happy to place this year. That door's like a bank vault. Now going back to the front, of course I have to show you the engine, but you always want to remember in a Rolls-Royce to twist the girl first. Man, this thing gets dusty fast. So unlatch these. Now there is your 7.4 liter V12. This car is an incredibly impressive, very torquey engine. Makes about, I'd say it makes about 200 horsepower. On paper it's less than that, but it feels more like 200. We just did the tour at Pebble Beach, 50 to 70 miles. We had a car full of people and this thing chugged along. It was pretty much in fourth gear the entire drive. So this car does have trafficators along with blinker lights, has both. It's kind of in the era of blinkers weren't really a thing yet. It was still trafficators, you know, the wings that come out of the sides. They're actually right here, and of course they work. Everything on this car still works. It didn't when we got it ready for the show, but that's just what our team did here to bring this car really back to life. This car was a picnic car. I believe it did every single Nethercutt picnic back in the day. It just drives so wonderfully. And we only burnt half a tank of gas in the entire Monterey Car Week, which is probably the most impressive thing about the car, to be honest. Now we do still have some tape here from the Pebble Beach signage that we have to remove. But your front end, you have these massive headlights that do indeed have high beams. You have these train horns basically on the front, sounds like an Amtrak. And then you have your spotlight. This does actually move when you turn the wheels on the car. And then, of course, you have your black Rolls-Royce monogram. Rolls-Royce changed it from red to black in 1933 to accommodate different painted cars and different coachwork, not because Mr. Rolls passed away. Now I don't have the T-bar for the trunk right now, but it's also getting hot out here in Southern California, so I'm going to take the car out on a drive quick, show you how it goes down the road. This is an amazing driving car. In fact, over the Pebble Beach week, this car got a new nickname and it's totally going to stick. Her name is now Cream Puff, because she is such a wonderfully driving and running car. We are so proud of her, and let's go take it for a drive. Now here is the dashboard of the P3. You have your amps here, fuel gauge, odometers, about 39,500 miles on this puppy. Got water temperature, oil pressure, and then you have a clock that is electrical. It only works when the ignition is on. You have your starting carburetor. This is for your fuel pumps. There's 2 fuel pumps on the car. And on the steering wheel, we have 2 different types of horns for loudness, which is hilarious. Down here, this is how you actually control your suspension stiffness. I just keep it on soft because this thing just floats. Timing, you kind of leave right in the middle. The car is pretty happy when it's always in the middle. And then here's your throttle control. Right there is pretty much where you want it when you start it. So how you start it is turn the ignition on, then fuel on, put your starting carburetor on, which turns off once you actually start the car, then press the starter right here. Just amazing. She is a cream puff. But listen how quiet the engine is when the throttle's all the way down. You can barely hear it. Incredible engineering for the era. So we have your instrument lights here. That's what turns on your dash lights. This is how you turn the wipers on. Reverse light, you actually have to pull this up to have it on. Spotlight for the front light. And then the blind, which I'll show you in a bit later. And then we have our trafficators. This is your turn signal, turning indicator right here. So if you flip that, there's your trafficator. It's like a wing. And it'll come down all by itself. There we go. All right, let's take it for a drive. So the stick's down here, right-hand drive car, but it is a traditional pattern 4-speed. But this car is so quiet going down the road. Good stealth vehicle at nighttime. This all black paint job. Oh, I forgot to mention the paint job. This paint is almost 70 years old on this car. So when we had it at Pebble Beach, the judges asked how old the paint job was. They were assuming around 5 to 10 years old, but this paint is in fact 70 years old now. You just can't beat lacquer paint. Alrighty, I'm still in first gear. Put it in second. No gear wind. No need to double clutch. This car is just a cream puff. That's third gear. Now, a question we get asked a lot about the cars that we have is how much does it weigh? Now, this is actually an aluminum bodied car. However, it weighs 7,800 pounds empty. So when you throw 5 people in the car for a Pebble Beach tour, I mean, you're looking at around maybe 9,000 pounds total in weight. These are extremely heavy cars, mainly because they were so overly engineered. I mean, the all mechanical mechanism for the privacy blind in the back, that weighs at least probably 30 pounds, just that by itself. It's pretty hilarious. I'm just taking a stroll through one of the neighborhoods here in Sylmar. This car originally was owned by a man named William Bethel. He was a World War II veteran, and he sold it to a guy named Frank Cox. And Frank Cox just had the car repainted about 70 years ago. Then he took it to Pebble Beach and won Best of Show. So this is 1957 Pebble Beach Best of Show winner that I'm driving right now. And nothing's changed on it at all since 57. Not the paint, not the interior. We have not done a thing to this car. It's just been perfect since the day we bought it. And when Frank Cox actually sold it after winning in Pebble, a woman bought it, and she actually lived in Pebble Beach, so the car used to reside there for a while until we bought it off of her in '64. And it was really fun getting this car back into the limelight after 70 years of it not seeing a show field. It's just been happily displayed at the Nethercutt for decades. This thing just soaks up speed bumps so perfectly. But talking to the Pebble Beach selection committee, they were looking for a good Rolls-Royce Phantom III, and I brought this up and did some digging and research myself and found out that it won Best of Show in '57, and nobody knew that. So it was fun to kind of dig up some old history on this beautiful girl. Turning radius is pretty good. Well, I'm going to take it back to the shop, show you all the interior things while I can enjoy the air conditioning still. So see you there in a bit. So here we are back in the holding cell. I have a T-bar. This is the only way you can open the rear of the Rolls. So you just flip this up, kind of jiggle it in there, and there we go, maybe. Alrighty, now this itself, I don't know, probably weighs 100 pounds. It's very heavy. So that flips down, then you could take a seat if you'd like, or you just take these two right here. These are some seat covers that we had for the week. Decent amount of luggage capacity. Then you pull this back up. Tools. You have your extra fuses. These are all original to the car. Even the tool bags are original to 1937. How cool is that? So you just flip this back up. Again, look at the paint. 70 years old. It's in incredible condition. And in here, you have even more tools. Looks like they got moved around a bit. But these, again, all original 1937 tools that comes with your Rolls-Royce. This car actually had service records from Rolls-Royce in England until it was sold to the United States in the 50s. Looks like I hurt myself. Yeah, you have everything you need, even a crank if you have the muscles to crank over 7.4 liters of a V12. That'd be pretty impressive, but it is doable. So the last thing I'll show you, and I hope it works, is our little blind. Look at that. So that's actually in between two panes of glass. So just press of a button and it's all mechanical. Amazing. So now I'll show you how the Sedanka DeVille top actually goes into the body. So the first thing you want to do, unscrew these on both sides. That'll come down like that. Unlatch these two top thingies right here. Not exactly a graceful thing to do. So then you pull this back like so into the body all the way back as far as you can go. And these you can leave up if you want. Doesn't look as good. Then this one, passenger side, has to go in first. There's a little clamp in there. I don't know if you could see it. Goes in like that. That one in like so. You flip this back up and boom. You have a Sedanka DeVille, open-bodied car. How neat is that? H.J. Molnar body from 1937. Well, here I am the next day taking Cream Puff on one last ride before we pickle it and put it back on display. This was a valiant effort from the Nethercutt team to get this car up and running and back to life to bring to Pebble this year, and we're just so proud of this car and the effort that was put into it for us to bring home a trophy with the 70-year-old paint job. Just, I have the best team in the world, and I'm so proud of Kenny, Roger, Nathan. On to the next year. So after almost 70 years, this car returns to the limelight, returns to a show field finally, ends up bringing a trophy back here to Sylmar that we are so proud of. If you want to see this car in person, book a tour at the Nethercutt Collection. We're putting her right in the middle of the Grand Salon to be enjoyed by the public for a while. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of Cream Puff, our 37 Rolls-Royce Phantom III Sedanka DeVille. If you like these videos, I'll keep making them. Just let me know. Thanks, have a good one.